I'm arrogant.
Sure. You are arrogant.
Very. They said, no, we already settled the deal of how we are going to work and so forth and so forth. Instead of me fighting this, I'm not a politician, I'm an artist. I withdraw myself. And I withdraw myself after I realized it. I said to her, give me the numbers of the person that you were calling. And she gave me the numbers, and I found out who's the person. And I realized that, okay, it's fine. Let me withdraw myself.
And just like that?
Yes. And I withdraw myself, and the Diepsloot happened.
No.
And I didn't want to associate myself with the word Diepsloot, even when the person that recommended me, asking me, or the Diepsloot has challenges in Diepsloot when they were moving, they were moved out to go and shoot in Honeydew. Can you assist? I said, I don't want that particular nonsense next to my name.
What? That is very interesting.
But I mean, the person who was acting you was not.
I won't say acting me.
Yeah.
I will say, I won't say acting me. I will say that's the person that they call thinking it's me.
Okay.
Is this one of the community leaders?
Yeah, it's a community leader. It's a politician.
So
Christ.
It's actually a former councillor. Maybe.
Of which ward? 95?
No.
Which, okay.
We are no longer going there.
You can tell us the political
We are no longer going there.
yellow, red,
We are no longer.
military.
No, I'm fine. I want to rub it into their face. Wanganasen.
Dumelang sanbonane abusheni libitso la ka ke la sekolo aka motsoko bandale sa tshware go ne ditlhaba ka mafoko ke tlhama ka mabumo o shwe o tlhokele poloko. As always, I'm not alone. I'm with Lee, my sunflower.
I think now you're getting my name correctly. Hey, you no longer like say my sunflower Lee. Like
My Lee.
It's imagine my Lee, because when you say sunflower, you take away my name. It's my sunflower. So Lee, my sunflower. So today, let me welcome you to another episode of the Kasi Uncover. We have a very interesting guest today. I know I always say this, but like today is an interesting guest, because even the measures that we took to sit here, I never thought we would like eventually get to sit here.
If there's no reason, there's excuse. If there's no excuse, there's a reason. But
I think everything happens for a reason. I think I'm glad actually we didn't like do it then. Maybe we were all not ready. We hadn't done our homeworks and all of that. But besides that, welcome to Kasi Uncover, Mr. Papi.
Mr. Papi, the sunflower.
No, not exactly that. I basically don't want to be called Mr. for some reasons.
Oh.
Alright.
My name in full, it's not basically Papi. Papi, it's my late twin brother's name, but I don't want to go there now.
Okay.
It's actually Babik, Babikie. So I allow people to call me Papi because the name Babik, they don't call it right. It's an Afrikaans name. And my middle name is basically Mutlompi. So you can already, my name is respecting me. So if you come with Mr., it's like a tautology to me.
Like two people in one.
It's like you are repeating. It's like someone says big house a hole. Yeah. So
it makes sense.
Yeah. So I feel like when I was born, I was already got a title. Yeah.
So you mentioned that your other name is Mutlompi.
Mutlompi. Yeah, means
Mutwa Shompang, respect, or is it?
Yeah, it's.
Is it how it's written? Mutlompi.
Yeah, Mutlompi. Yeah.
And then, do you have anyone in our surrounding, in our industry, calling you with the name Mutlompi?
No. If someone calls me that, I know that they are coming from Zanin, where I was born in Mawa. So if someone called me Babiki or call me Mutlompi, then I know that this person knows me from my root.
Have you made peace with the name Papi?
Yeah, I actually I'm using two Facebook page. The other one is Papi Sathekge and the other one is Babik. I don't accept people that are coming from home on the Papi side because it's specifically for people that are surrounding Gauteng and so on and so forth. But with the one year Babik, it's people that I went to school with so that they can be able to find me and so forth and so on.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I would like you to like paint us with your upbringing, how it was like. Where you mentioned Tanin that you come from there.
Yeah, we just basically saying Zanini because geographically people can be able to allocate it. But I'm born in a very deep rural area called Mawa. Mawa, it's big on its own. It's in Bulobelu. There's other side, yeah, Bulobelu. Bulobelu is also separated. There's Bulobelu South, Naribija Zwabond, because the soil is fertile. And then on our side, Bulobelu North. And then by Boroga. So, and also Boroga. Nalibile go Boroga the pass, which is my fellow Boroga. And the place called Mawa. Mawa also has blocks. Now I'm coming from block 8. So yeah, but everyone knows everyone. And I went to school whereby all villages are coming to one school. We had almost 8 to 10 villages that were attending the same school. So we happen to know each other there because I was one of the popular guys in the school. Yeah, because of I played soccer, and I'm one of the person who convinced the school to start a cricket, and we wanted to start rugby. It didn't work.
Rugby.
Yeah. I tried a lot of things. I played netball also when it was not fashionable for men to play that. So, and I started where everything that I see on TV, I wanted to tap into it and see whether it can work for me. But I found my home, go stage productions, which is theater. Stage drama, and because I started that in a primary level, and but maybe it's a different story of how did I start that. Different question. Yeah.
That is true. I think the matter of interest, the reason why we are here today, let's just start with fast forwarding your entire life into the day you got to Diepsloot. Tell us, how was that like?
It's so interesting. I didn't want to come to Diepsloot. Yeah, I arrived in Diepsloot in 1999.
Okay.
And my brother and my sister were staying here. And when I arrived here, it was a matter of I'm looking for. Already at school, they recommended me to go to study drama in Soyuka Institute of African Theatre. I wanted to go to VETS, and there's a very interesting story about me in terms of that, because when I got the scholarship to go for performing art, I was in grade 11. And then VETS wanted matric, and I'm coming from a poor family. If I miss this scholarship, I'm not gonna. Then Soyuka Institute of African Theatre had what we call AMA NQF level 4, which is equivalent to matric that you can do before you can even write their final. And then I had to do that with the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, that program, so that I can be able to write. I did my first year and my matric at the same time. Because I needed that NQF level 4 for me to be able to qualify to do my first year.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I think with this art thing, you come a long, long way, right?
Yeah, because I think I was doing standard 3. I don't know what you could. Yeah, I think it's grade 5 now.
Oh, okay.
So the premier was Magora Matloli in the Limpopo that time. So he happens to visit our area. And areas where there's no community halls and so on, they visit schools because that's the most place that they can be able to meet, to reach out the people. And you know, with kids, you always inform that Magora Matloli is coming to a school, call your parents. And I went to the principal's office and say, when Magora Matloli comes here next week, I want to do a production. I want to do a drama. And I didn't have an idea of what I'm going to do that time. And I called my friend Uselo. I grew up, I think Mozwagi Mbule inspired my artwork because I used to listen to his poem and start reciting his poems. So what happened, I talked to my friend Uselo. May he so rest in peace, he passed on. And the first person that I started sharing a stage with, because we made a stage production. Remember when you were in Standard 3, then you start making a stage production about, there's a comic of someone who's sick because Ojola Mapele hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a funny moment that every now and then when people meet me on the street, they say, Papi Ojola Mapele. Understand?
Yeah.
And that particular time, if someone says that to you, it will offend you, but it never offended me. Then I realized that there's a lot of nicknames that I got along the way, that I got, the other ones that you got on the street because of the way you look, the way I was offended when they called me Lehuete because I was so bright in color that people thought I'm an albino. And I was so offended. I was so offended when people called me Eugene Telebranch because they felt like, you know, during that time they were saying, on apartheid, you are proving your point. I'm the kind of person, if you tell me something, I say, no, I don't think it that way. I will debate it until I convince you to. And they say on apartheid, because we didn't know how to use the word apartheid. And the only person who was famous with apartheid was Eugene Telebranch. And then they used to call me Eugene Telebranch because of that. But along the way, I realized these are just names. So people, when they fight each other because of calling about nicknames, I was so comfortable around it. And then I realized there's something special about my life. And then I'm unique to other people. That's why I don't want to be compared to anyone. Even my ex, if they say you are not like my previous ex, and then I'll say from today you are an ex. Because I don't want to be compared. I'm unique. I'm writing my own story.
And so, it's actually very, prominent to actually find out what makes you self-sufficient and what makes you different from other people. So when you came to Diepsloot, you asked Corona, how did you find it? You wanted to go to this type of an art space.
That was the question.
And would you today recommend somebody who does not have a matric to go and do NQF level 4 or level 5? Do you think things would still work out the same?
I won't. That's why I don't want to talk about it with my students, because they will take advantage of that. But I would recommend it to people who just quit school and don't think there's another opportunity. And then you fail your matric, you don't know what to do. And people are not aware that they can compile all the experience that they have in life, what you have done. Lalas, when I know you as a musician, as a poet, and so on, and you performed in different areas and so forth. If you take that as a portfolio of evidence and go to sit and say, I qualify to have NQF level 4 because of 1, 2, 3. This is a poster that I have designed. This is what I have done. That's your metric. So people are not aware of that. There are a lot of people who didn't make it in metric class, but they are good carpenters. they marketed their business, and their business is doing very well. But in terms of taking that pieces and put it together and make it a portfolio of evidence to go to sit and claim to have an NQ level 4 that can make them to go to a school and be able to go into any university in South Africa. I qualify. I'm proudly says I never went to a matric class, because I think I went to matric class for 2 months, which is the beginning of the month before the Soyuko open, but I never write my matric, and I'm so glad that I took that road, and that what put me to be where I am. But I qualify to go to vets because of the portfolio of evidence that I have done.
Yeah, I think as you're saying that that's not something that you do communicate with your students for a reason, because like I think when someone communicates something to us, there's a thin line, especially when we talk about education with today and how our country is when it comes to people who have been to universities and they have all these qualifications. So there's a very thin line between those.
Yeah.
You know how many kids dropped out of school when they had that Casper dropped out of school and made it that big in music industry. We have them in Diepsloot. A lot of boys who were like, yeah, now I'm quitting school. I want to focus on my music. You could hear the Casper energy around what they were saying with confidence. And I'm like,
and here's
it's
the
not
thing.
always working out.
I think as much as they just had Casper quit school and did this, what was he doing before he get to that? You know, because also it's not like he quit school and he just chilled and it was chill vibes
like, or he quit school and got a good contract.
Because I think education is very important. Like it is very important. As much as the experience is important, they go hand in hand, and we can't look at the other while overlooking the other. So it's
you know what's important? Information.
Yeah.
You know, if I was not informed that I can still qualify, have a similar certificate as matric when I was still at school, I was going to continue with my matric.
True.
But because I had a principal and teacher who basically went beyond their work of duty to make sure that I found what I want. Because as much as I said I was famous at school, at everything that happens at school, I wanted to be involved. That built a strong relationship between me and my teachers. So that makes them to be able to say, we want to help this young man who's coming from a poor family but who eager to be something in life.
That is very interesting.
That's amazing.
So let's go to the Diepsloot youth program. Is it the DYP, right?
Yeah.
Please tell us, for someone who doesn't know, who has never heard of it, tell us what is that?
Okay, the Diepsloot youth program is basically the baby of the Diepsloot Youth Crime Prevention Desk. The beginning of, I was the deputy chairperson of the Youth Crime Prevention Desk that time. The beginning of it was launched by the Diepsloot South African Police Service and Century Property Development. The main aim was to meet the interest of the young people in Diepsloot. That's why the program on its own, when it started, it didn't have a vision and mission of what exactly do we want young people to do. But it wanted young people to come with a vision and mission of what they want to do. So we just have to thank the Century Property Development together with the Personal Achievement Center to give the space to people like me who said, this is how I see this benefiting the young people in Diepsloot. And that particular time I was working from the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation. My contract was about to finish. And when it started, I didn't start with it. And most of the people, they think I started with it. I didn't start with it. I started with it because it started in the office of the Youth Crime Prevention Desk, where I was sitting as the as a 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 as a, as a structure, but the actual person who was supposed to be running it, it was the chairperson of the Youth Crime Prevention Desk then, with Uses Angel. I don't know what happened along the way that I had to step in. So, but the idea was the collective idea from the young people in Diepsloot.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's that. And if you look at it, it has sports, it has soccer team, it has netball team, it has community uplifting programs like your opportunity days and so on. It has arts and culture, because it's what, when we were sitting down, we thought this is what's gonna benefit. And 5 young people were deployed to work on that program, and I was not part of that five people. I cannot say another name because of some professional reason. And the other one was Sipo, and the other one was Mpo Pasmina. The other one was Mlambo, Sam.
Okay.
Mtambo, not Mtambo.
Okay.
And Tavu. So those were the 5 people that started running with it before I joined them. Along the way, when my contract finished there, I had to move from this other side.
All right.
So yeah, it's basically a program for young people in Diepsloot, and it's designed for that.
So most of the, let's say in the beginning of me knowing you, in the beginning, there was a lot of mention of Silalo. Who's that?
Okay. Yeah, Slilo, when we started the Diepsloot Youth Program, she was the treasurer of the Youth Crime Prevention Desk.
Okay.
But I will tell you the relationship between me and Sly, and people happens to convince it before, and they thought she was my girlfriend or something. And yeah, you know, when you
that's
always,
what we are interested in.
Yeah. So this young woman, when we meet her, when I met her the first time, we were launching that program, because I was part of the committee that was launching the Diepsloot, the Youth Crime Prevention Desk. She was doing a modeling staff in Extension 8. She has her own group of young people that she grooms.
Without no sponsor.
Without anything. She started that program. And then when Diepsloot News, there was a paper, Diepsloot newspaper with Yabo Bongani.
Still there.
Oh, yeah.
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, when he started that paper, Boslal were part of the journalists with that proper training. And when we went to launch there, I definitely saw a character that it fits what I want to do in my life. And along the way, we happens to go, and there's a program called the Mrs. Diepsloot.
Yeah, I remember.
And Miss Diepsloot was a program that was launched by Vanyatsi and who
Banyati Kaufel.
Vumakwela.
Okay.
Philip Makwela.
I never thought he was involved in these things, but he always had interest.
No. There were people that made Diepsloot to be vibrant that time. And when they launched that, they registered it. Miss Diepsloot is registered actually. You can't do Miss Diepsloot without my authority. But anyway, I'll tell you why. But I was not part of the launch, because along the way, as Lilo and Mike Mabove, we went and write a letter to Bobanyaz and say, you are not doing justice to the program. Can you hand it over to us, because we can do it? And they hand us certificate to us and so on.
Just like that.
Yeah, because they knew, Miss Diepsloot was not about an individual. It was about uplifting beautiful young people in the community. But we set ourselves, it's not about beauty.
Okay.
It's about, if we crown you as Miss Diepsloot, what are you gonna do in Diepsloot in terms of You understand? They understand the language that we're talking to, because we are talking activists sitting together with other activists who understand. But these guys, they really have had a point, and they said, "Okay, take it, go and work on it. If you are not working on it, we can come and take it from us." I and Mike Mabube, we have an authority to take that forward, but it's not guaranteed. They can come back over and say we need our rights back.
I've never. It's the first time hearing about it. Like, when was the last time?
And I'm like, do you guys do justice to it?
Because I've never.
We didn't, because I think Sly was the driving force around it.
Okay.
She was the driving force, and she was one of the signatories in the bank also. Then after that, our morale went down in terms of that, because she was the one who have an experience with modeling. I have an experience in the entertainment industry. Yeah.
But you, as an individual, being one of the people that can authorize, and have like power over this thing, couldn't you like find someone who would like replace her and do justice to the program?
I don't replace people. I can't replace Lalas. That's my friend. I can't.
But you can find someone to do what Lalas would have
You see,
done.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't believe, when I went to get this art center, I wanted a home for artists. And it's a home for artists. But I never went to the community and say, I have a home for artists. I start implementing things, and artists will come and say, this is what, if you understand what I'm trying to do.
I get you.
So I'm not the kind of person, someone will never say, Papi came to my home and begged my mother and begged. So, because I had a driving force from grade 5. I had the driving force. And that's why it's important for me to go and work with schools around Diepsloot, because of that driving force.
So this is very interesting.
The same, what I'm getting here is the same passion and voluntary effort that you just like, this is what I have, and nobody's gonna come and save me from my comfort zone.
Thank you.
It's what you expect from another artist, that no, it's not gonna come to you. You have to. If really matter, I also agree. You want something.
So I have a question regarding that, right? So let's say now someone watches this episode and they're like, actually, I think I have what it takes to like do this pageant and bring justice to it. Would you allow the person to do it?
Yes, have a boss to come and confront me and say, this is what I had boss to go and confront the people who are even certificate and say, this is what we believe.
Now we're gonna talk about that boss.
Now we are here with the balls. We want to run with them, because they can't be. Last year I attended Mrs. Alexandra Heritage, and like it was so heartbreaking to know we don't have such things in Diepsloot. Like, we see it on the other side, and it's not like we can't do it.
But
we can. And also, I think it goes back to your point, but to say information is very important, because had probably I known that you are part of that and you are the person that authorizes that, maybe I would have had the balls to come in.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That now, if there's a lot of people that are going to watch this, and they will say we are going to challenge you.
Yeah.
We want you.
Out
of 100 people that are going to come, I can tell you, it's only 2% of the people that they are going to implement it. People like chances.
Yeah, for real. We had
the thing.
But I'm gonna, at some point, we are going there, where we wanna hold you a bit accountable, especially because you've run that. When you go to social media, Lee, first you search Miss Face of Diepsloot or Miss Diepsloot Teen. There's just some things that were done here and there, but they've never had consistent. So have you ever heard about Evolve? movement. There's this
Yeah.
boy called Jeffrey who's been trying
It's my own boy.
Yeah, he's been trying so hard.
He's my own boy.
Did you offer any support to his movement? Because I feel like that had a potential maybe to be the next big thing when Miss Diepsloot went.
Jeffrey is a big guy.
Okay.
Jeffrey is a man.
Yeah.
But
Jeffrey does not need me. You know who Jeffrey needs? Him.
Okay.
Jeffrey needs Jeffrey to move. You know, there's nothing, you know, I'm coming from block 8, he's coming from block 9. It's actually my own boy. We're coming from the same area. I know his father directly. And when I come to Diepsloot, this is one of the family that was close to my family because we're coming from the same area. So Jeffrey does not need me. That young man, he needs himself to tell himself the sky is the limit and no one can stop on my area. That's why he did Miss Teen rather than Miss Diepsloot, because he knew that he cannot do Miss Diepsloot. So Miss Teen he can do because Miss Teen is his own baby. So rather than taking Jeffrey to go and do Miss Diepsloot to leave his baby, it's unfair to the young man.
Okay.
See, who's going to do Miss Teen? Who has to go and develop these young kids when they are still teenagers to qualify themselves to be in Miss Diepsloot?
I think I get what you're saying. I truly get what you're saying, because I mean, I have to help myself and probably even have the guts to approach other people, you know. But you sound like, do you believe in collaboration? Because as you're talking, you're giving me vibes of
no collaboration. What is that to start with? What is collaboration? You know, I did a lot of collaboration, but because I just have to give people a chance when they come and say we want to collaborate. There's a lot, but I still didn't believe in collaboration when I'm in collaboration. Yeah, collaboration is killing someone's dream.
Okay.
How so?
Let me tell you one of the things. When you are plotting a program, you have a vision. And when you have a vision, he has his vision. And your vision may be, along the way may look the same, but the end goal is not the same. So if you go and collaborate with, someone is going to lose his own vision along that collaboration.
Not necessarily losing, but we consolidate.
You see, now you are explaining English with another English term. You know, it's like compromising myself and say, hey, my vision is not as good as yours. Let's rather use yours because it's still covering part of me. But does it cover all of you?
Wow, no.
So last,
but before you can go there, let's just clear this thing out, because people may just think I'm stubborn or selfish or something. I understand. If I'm selfish, I don't need apology for that. I'm fine with my selfishness. I'm fine with it. I will tell you, good people. One writer said the world is like a stage, which is Shakespeare. Everyone on it is an actor. So every person must play their part.
Okay.
Young people that are coming from this art center, they can tell you without me being around. I always tell them, if you don't see a vision in this art center, you are in a wrong place, please.
Okay.
If you come here, you don't see what can I do to make my end goal to be there. For an example, you come here as an actor, we train you to be an actor, but you basically want to start a film industry. If you don't come here and say, Bra Papi, I see I have this time to do a production with you and so on, but with my 2 hours, can I get a table there and start my film studio and editing? You understand? You found something in my vision. I don't work for Diepsloot youth program. I work with Diepsloot youth program.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is the Diepsloot youth program has allowed me to say, you have a vision, we have a vision. Do you do us?
So everyone who's saying Diepsloot Youth Program is yours is actually in the dark side because they don't.
Because they look at it from a distance and they think they know what Diepsloot youth program is, and that's why they have a problem, and they will have a problem with their entire life, because if they don't.
That is interesting.
If they don't research very well, and they don't like me as a person, they may not come to the Diepsloot Youth program because thinking that the Diepsloot Youth program is Papi's program, only to find out it is their program. This program was made for the Diepsloot youth.
And then
so you, in a sense, like you. So you're saying this DYP, and you are here. You
Yes.
just
you work with them and
with them.
Yes. So I have a question on something that I much believe that it's still new.
Yeah.
You could have seen it. There's a young man who's an artist in Diepsloot, and this guy's got major collaborations in the mainstream industry.
Yeah.
But himself, his name isn't really there. But he's on songs that sold platinum, and his name is BK. And I think his post appeared where he said that his first post was, I want to host AMA event at Diepsloot. Diepsloot art and culture says he has to do something. Then he wrote another post and said, who's in charge of Diepsloot, art and culture yaseKasi, cause wow. And then basic the comment there, and then someone mentioned you. Why is every time anything to do with art and culture in Diepsloot, when it arises, you are the first person that people would be like, Papi? Why is your name always there?
At first it used to frustrate me, and now I'm enjoying it. And I'll tell you why I'm enjoying it, because I played my part. So when you played your part, when coming to arts and culture in Diepsloot, I played my part. And I'm not the first person to start a group in Diepsloot. It's Donald Matlala. The founder of the Diepsloot Theatre is Donald Matlala.
Do we even have a Diepsloot Theatre?
I'm just theatre groups. I'm talking about theatre groups. It's Donald Matlala. So and why I'm saying I'm happy about it and I'm bragging about it, because people are lazy to go extra mile to find the information of what they want to do, and they always hide behind something. It's like hiding yourself behind a cam of more fire, with this more fire, and say I'm hiding. So people, artists in Diepsloot, they must just have balls to go and deep down and understand what's happening within this industry and within the arts and culture on its own. There's 3 levels of arts and culture in the whole country. 3 levels. It's national, it's province, it's city.
Okay.
There is no budget that goes to the township. There is no councillor that has a budget for anything and say, this is the budget for making a road, this is a budget for... There's nothing like that. The councillor are the representative of the community within the city. Whatever they go and take there, they go to the city and still report and say, this is what we ask for. And they go and ask a budget in a council, and the council will say, we allocated this for that, this for that, this for that. But they don't give them money, they give them the approval and say, I will make a road inside Diepsloot. We'll make bus stops. You understand? And then they will go, the city will appoint a person to come and do it.
And not the council.
Not the councillor.
Okay.
The councillor will have an influence of saying this is where the road must start and this is where it must end and this is where the bus stop must do. But all the departments, there is no money that goes to the councillor's office, or there's no money that goes to the representative of arts and culture in a certain area.
So you say to that young man, if he goes to national,
yes,
and then with the proposal and say, I want to do this type of a thing, and then they won't say, nah, there's already Papi in Diepsloot.
No, they'll give him funds. You know what they do? The April is starting, the financial year of the government is starting. They will allocate funding, and they'll put it on a newspaper, online, and so on, and say people apply. There's funding. You send proposal and say this is what I want to do, and they will approve that. And then, you know, the funny part is I never get the funding from National Art Council because I never applied. I never applied in the department in the National Arts Council. I never applied in province. I never even applied in a city. There is no one within those structure will tell you who wants to give Papi money. So people who had money that they applied there, they are there in Diepsloot.
And it's not you.
It's not me. They are there. And they applied because they applied for their proposal. Even now, as I speak, there's a show that is running that is sponsored by the National Arts Council in Diepsloot. And there's no
part of
it.
So you are saying that anyone can apply on the national, right?
Yes.
Like, who approves those thingies? Like, I can just write it and straight to the national. Doesn't go through the councillors.
No. What you do, you go on a system, on the website of the National Arts Council. You send your proposal, you send the budget, as a councillor, you go and ask a letter of recommendation. The councillor will recommend you, and go and get someone who's a community leader in arts and culture will come and recommend you and write, and you put it there, you post there, and then it's sent.
So who are other leaders within the space of arts and culture besides you? Because if someone mentioned arts, I think the first name to come is Papi.
You know why? I played my part.
So who else are they to do all these things?
I don't think it's fair for me to mention other people's name, because I may be sounding like I'm shifting the blame for people to start saying Mang Kena Ajao arts and culture, because people may listen.
So what you're telling us, Papi, is that Diepsloot, especially these ones that are within art and they want to do this, they are actually mad at the wrong person.
No. If they are mad at me, it's simple as they see hope in me, so I'm happy.
No, but you are saying you're not the one that's applying for these budgets.
Therefore, I don't have money. I don't have budget for that.
Yeah.
They don't give me budget for that.
Yeah.
But these people are blaming me. They think I have budget for that. That means I deserve to have budget. That's what I mean.
But you did mention that there are other people who are getting the budget besides you.
They applied on merit.
So let's talk about the anger that these people have. Is it justified? Are they putting it on this? Okay, because you are saying, no, I'm not receiving anything. So you are saying that this anger is supposed to be redirected to other individuals.
No, not other individual.
Yeah.
They must be redirected to themselves.
Yeah.
Because they are not applying.
Yes.
So you say this is open. Anyone can apply as long as they are in art space and they are registered. What do they need? And if young person comes to you and be like, okay, I want to apply this funding, but I don't know the convincing proposal.
No, but also on that one, I think maybe he'll also add, like, it's we can't make it our responsibility, honestly. Like, you have to go out there. There are sites for that. We have internet for that. Like, you can go find, and we have the all these leaders that are there. I mean, even Papi's here for that. We can't, like, no, that one, no.
Okay, let me tell you what I done for that. I called the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation Provincial. And I called the artists in Diepsloot in Extension 7 Community Hall and said, province, these are your people. This is the frustration. These people I think I will say this. There's a boy called West. West he was one of my favorite actor actually, until that Facebook happened, and I realized that I don't like this boy anymore. So he posted something like that to say, but he mentioned my name. That's the reason why I'm mentioning his name, because he mentioned my name about arts and culture, and I laughed because it's one of the boys that we always meet. Actually, we met 3 days before, and he never mentioned that. He just mentioned on Facebook. But it made me to realize that maybe our people are lost. And then I make a call out for artists to come into. Actually, the first week, the first thing that I've done, I went to Diepsloot Youth Program and asked money for a workshop of a week. Of workshopping our artists to understand what we are talking about here. And after that, I think it's before COVID, 2019, 2018, somewhere there. And then on a day, I told them to launch a forum that will represent themselves in Diepsloot. And they launched a forum. And the chairperson was Loiso Lewis.
Okay.
It's my younger brother, and I don't even have a problem to mention his name. And there were a lot of people that were artists in Diepsloot that came to that forum. And I called the department on the last day to come and explain, or how do we go about applying funding and so forth and so forth.
I hope I'm not confusing something. When I arrived in Diepsloot at around 2016-17, there was Diepsloot Artist Forum, Barbara Dikipatse Black. I think Trash Deep Ona Bereka Sloot FM was always there. I think you know the guy, Umtonje Art, big voice, he's always laughing. That guy was part of
Trash was never part of the Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network.
So what was happening there?
No, Trash was a friend to the PRO, which is Simon Maringa.
Okay.
So that's why he was always around. So Trash was basically, okay. Now I see what you are talking about. Now I see what you are talking. You are not talking about Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network. You are talking about Diepsloot
Artist Forum.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not going to say anything about it, because you just interview Untate Godfrey Sintomola. Yeah, he's the one who launched that. So I don't want to fight with my brothers. So they will explain that, or what happened to it.
We never spoke about
it.
Yeah, because we didn't know.
No, here's the thing. That's what happens when you didn't do your homework right?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to know, I mean, for someone like you to say you are not receiving funding from all these people, but then you had like the power to call them in and then they come. It's not like if I were to call like the people from Promise, they will come. Like at which extent do you have to have the relationship with these people to come and listen to the anger that these people have?
I mean, I understand what I'm doing, and I understand the mandate given, and I understand where I want to go. And when you want to, if you are a soccer player and you don't mingle around the Mutawins and the problem, it's your problem. It's not my problem. Because the Mutawin will be able to tell you when is the trial taking place.
Okay. And Rabataba,
where are they getting people?
No, it's not like Rabataba, lack of information also. If I don't know that they're hanging out here, how will I know?
The thing is, how do you network?
That's another thing.
How do you network? When they say the province is calling, the province every year, maybe 5 times they call people to come into their office to tell them what's their plan. Do you go? If Papi goes there and get an information, he has to come and share with you. Exactly.
So let's go back to you mentioned that there was this young man who went on Facebook and said things about you, right? I mean, it's Yes, there are those ones that say things from afar, people that have never worked with you. They have things to say, oh, Papi this, Papi that.
Yeah.
But then there are those ones that were part of the Diepsloot arts in action.
Yeah,
That
part
how
of
you call
these
it?
programs.
Part of your
My
program.
program is Umtonje Voyage.
Okay, well, Diepsloot Arts. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say Diepsloot
Yeah.
Arts just to who were part of that, and then they've worked with you like closely, and then after that they're like, no, I don't want to work with him, and like it's. I think what I'm trying to find is why do you think they have that? Why do you think everyone is just like I don't want to work with him after they had worked?
I'm
with
arrogant.
him? Sure. You are arrogant.
Very.
So. Okay.
So you don't see it
since,
as a negative.
No. But
It will never be a negative.
so since you're arrogant, do you allow your arrogance to come in the way when it comes to working with these people?
No, I've never been arrogant to a person who's not. You know, when you come here, you have a vision. I told you about it. And why do you have a person that I started working with 5 years ago is still here, and the person who came 2 days ago goes and say, I don't want to work with you?
Okay, can you please take us through probably a scenario that had happened that led to that?
Actually, yesterday, Shamin, she's here.
Yeah.
She'll confirm. On Thursday, I just fired someone. And I said,
you also fired.
What happened?
And I lied. And I said, I don't want liars. I don't want people who lies, because people who lies are very. It's like having a tomato that is rotten in a certain corner. Within a week, that tomato, the whole thing is spoiled.
Okay.
I don't work with those. I don't want people who work with people who don't tell the truth.
But we want the juicy part of it. Like what happened?
No, I'm just saying.
The essence.
No, no, the juicy part of it. I'm just trying to say to you, if I happens to say do 1, 2, 3, and then the following day I come, you didn't do it, and then I'm patient. I think I spent the whole year trying to show this person where I'm trying to go, and then the person didn't found it, and a very talented young person.
What would you say to someone who thinks that you didn't mention that you were arrogant? What would you say to someone who thinks that you are selfish, like,
or someone who tells you in an argument, are you are arrogant?
Yeah,
the very same way.
When I'm saying I'm arrogant, I'm trying to say I'm selfish. I am. You know, that's people will like polishing things that we're not supposed to polish. Selfish, it's when a person believes in a vision and they want to make sure that their vision goes on their way. There's no person who says Motsepe is selfish. Willie is selfish. There's no person who says Stain City is selfish. Willie is selfish. Why this selfishness is good for rich people, not for us.
Do you think there's a reason why you work the way you work and you do things the way you do them, especially when it comes to all these people?
Yes, there is a reason. I'm not supposed to be here now. I'm supposed to have my own art center in my own space with 100% owned by me, the whole building. And that was delayed by people that I was trying to accommodate. That was delayed by being soft and being accommodative.
Trying to be selfless.
Exactly.
trying to clean your name even when it's not.
You must know that if you are not selfish, you're not gonna make it.
They're gonna use you only, and
in any industry, if you are not selfish, you're not gonna make it.
Well, let's go to your thing. You mentioned Umtonje. Is it Umtonje?
Yeah. We must call it right. We must call it right. Yeah.
Umtonje.
Yeah, it's an acronym. It's Umuntu. Onje.
Oh, please tell us about that. What is it about?
and voyage.
Yeah, voyage is a journey. It's a French name that says a journey. This is a journey that I have traveled.
Okay, so what is it about? What do you do there? Please just...
It's a company that I own. Yeah. So now I have a shareholder called Ochauchen. I just give shares for that company. I can't disclose how many shares.
Why what was the reason for you to give her shares?
No, this shares actually I wanted to give it for Slaylo. Before she passed.
Yeah.
Before she passed on.
Yeah.
And I have 3 reasons for that. Umtonje on its own, it's built by women.
Okay.
There's always women figure when I'm struggling that comes and assists.
Yeah.
So I felt like to do justice to it, I'm supposed to give someone who has a character of Slaylo.
Okay.
To give it to her. And then that's 1. 2 was to say, because this shares was it's my company. I don't even need to give it to anyone. But because I wanted to give Slaylo, I need to release them to someone. And because I hate empty promises. I hate them. So even myself, when I promise you something, I don't promise you, I promise myself.
Yeah.
So if I disappoint myself, if I say I'm going to buy you a ice cream, and if I don't
I thought
buy,
you were gonna say a car, like
if I don't buy it,
yeah,
the person who's disappointed a lot is not you, it's me.
Yeah.
that makes sense. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
No, you're not really selfish then.
That's fair enough.
That's 1. 2 was, in South Africa, women own business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weapon that also I have. Umtonje, for the fact that she has shares, even though it can be 0.1% shares, it makes Umtonje to be women-owned business.
Okay.
So if they say women-owned business are going to benefit here, and then it simply says we qualify because of that 0.1%.
So this is this is not an NPO sort of.
It's not an NPO. We have an NPO called Umtonje Theatre Production.
Oh.
So there's an Umtonje Theatre Production which is owned by Woshamin and so on. There's a lot of people that are there because there is an NPO. It has 7 directors.
Okay.
So here we have Umtonje Theatre Production, which is a different. It's not even part of this. So it's different from Umtonje Voyage.
Okay.
Umtonje Theatre Production deal with theatre, with performing art, deal with Amariezas here, dealing with developing young artists and so forth and so forth. This is the one that is doing artists. So Umtonje Voyage is not there. There is tour guide inside it. There is transport. There is stage management. It's a company that when we invoice you with that, it means we need money. We don't do charity work there.
Oh, you mean business there?
Yeah.
No, that's very great.
So I saw like somewhere that there was a short film that you guys did and it was nominated. It was, I think the name is What's the Big Deal? That was like played for like a few minutes. Please tell us about that one.
Okay, there's a what do you call a 48 hours film festival every year. So 48 hours film festival, and that's I think that's the wrong name to use. It's not What's the Big Deal that was nominated there. It's the West Dinner.
Okay.
So I don't know who journalist put it that. So those who don't do their homework. 48 Hours Film Festival, it's a festival that comes every year. It's global, it's international.
Oh, okay.
It's an international one. So, but they do it very metropolitan.
Oh, okay.
So in South Africa, they only host it in Cape Town and in Joburg.
Okay.
So in Joburg, they host it Mall of Africa. You affiliate. After affiliating, they call you on a day. They give you the topic. After giving you a topic, and they give you the name of the prop and the name of the actor, the name. So after that, you have 40. When they ring the bell, you have 48 hours to go and write a script, to make a casting, to go and look for location, to shoot it and edit it and return it.
Is it still ongoing?
Yeah, it's ongoing.
So, on the same journalist that wrote there, I don't know if this is gonna be correct because you did mention that you were gonna turn that 7 few minutes film into 90 or plus minutes.
Yeah,
What happened
I wanted
to
to turn it to the whole film.
Yeah.
But I was in talk with GFC. And I'm telling you that I never had funding for anything. You know, the funding that I have, yeah, Arts in Action. Diepsloot Arts in Action. It's not basically the funding of Umtonje. The funding of community art centers, which is we affiliated under.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So the community arts, Gauteng community art centers have funding, they get the funding, and after that they look at organizations that can host the event and allocating that money to.
Yeah.
So which is where I affiliated on, but I'm also, yeah, I don't know, I should say elected as a provincial coordinator.
So
So
now,
for that,
Even better.
on that,
are even better.
Yes, even better before you get to your
So,
question.
but I was going to answer that. So it's still on a pipeline to get a funding for that. I applied for some international funding. So if people are convinced to say it's something that I can shoot.
okay. You wanted to go on.
No, I wanted him to like answer that before you went with the next question.
Okay. This is gonna be the last controversial from me because I don't know about the time.
I like
now.
controversial ones.
Yeah. There was today, even when we come here, we were listening to radio in the car, and we heard of Diepsloot, Deep City, and somebody was talking that I remember in the beginning of Deep City when it was introduced, and that it was going to be a series or a soapy that is going to be produced in Diepsloot. And I remember there was a group created of so many artists and all that who wanted to be part of it so bad. Some of us, we even sent music thinking the music was gonna play in the background. And what happened to that? Because I think there's a lot of artists in Diepsloot who had hope in it.
Yeah.
This one is controversial for real.
It's not actually. Actually, the reason why I'm just looking at your camera direct because I want to say it direct. To say, I think the first thing that I got from that, it was a call from someone that I know, who happens to know people who are producing the productions.
Okay.
They wanted to link me with those guys, and they were happy to link with me. And I think one of the things that we were listening to on a radio was to say the script was not relevant to Diepsloot. When the name comes, Diepsloot on its own, it was not Diepsloot. It was Diepsloot.
Okay.
They changed it because of the political landscape on the area.
Okay.
And when I was approached to say, how can you assist? And I said, I'm going to meet with the artists, Zagokas, and have a wish list. And I started calling artists. I called. That group, when it was done because I called artists and say, make a group. I don't know who did the group, but I called artists that make a group and then add me in so that we can check. And I told the people to say, when you come on a site, the first thing that you need to do, I wanted to offer them this space to be a main camp of Deep City. Rather than in Diepsloot, they will go there to go and shoot. And I told them we have subs that can come on board in terms of the security of the area. We have armor patrollers that can be able to get the ferry marshals to shoot on the area. I sent a lot. We are catering, we are everything, and so on and so on.
That was going to create jobs in Diepsloot.
And I said, there are two types of artists. There are people who just want to be on TV, which is extras. There are people that are already in the industry, they are actors and so on. We have agencies that are there and that are mushrooming into that. And we can supply this. And they said, send it via email. I send it via email. I still have that email. And then 3 days later, there was a meeting in Diepsloot of Diepsloot without me. And this person who went there for a meeting, she was under the impression that she's going to meet me. And only to find out she was talking to someone as if it's me. And they said, no, we already settled the deal of how we are going to work and so forth and so forth. Instead of me fighting this, I'm not a politician, I'm an artist. I withdraw myself. And I withdraw myself after I realized it. I said to her, give me the numbers of the person that you were calling. And she gave me the numbers, and I found out who's the person. And I realized that, okay, it's fine. Let me withdraw myself.
And just like that?
Yes. And I withdraw myself, and the Diepsloot happened.
Oh.
And I didn't want to associate myself with the word Diepsloot, even when the person that recommended me asking me, or the Diepsloot has challenges in Diepsloot when they were moving, they were moved out to go and shoot in Honeydew. Can you assist? I said, I don't want that particular nonsense next to my name.
What? That is very interesting.
But I mean, the person who was acting you was not.
I won't say acting me.
Yeah.
I will say, I won't say acting me. I will say that's a person that they call thinking it's me.
Okay.
Is this one of the community leaders?
Yeah, it's a community leader. It's a politician.
So
Jesus Christ.
It's actually a former councillor. Maybe.
Of which ward? 95?
No.
Which, okay.
We are no longer going there.
You can tell us the political.
We are no longer going there.
Yellow, red.
We are no longer.
Military.
No, I'm fine. You must understand one thing, man.
Yeah.
This has been the reason why I even put myself out. There was a Global Studio that came here somewhere years back. Global Studio came here and launched, and Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network was launched by Global Studio, wanted to assist the whole Diepsloot. And when they wanted to assist the whole Diepsloot, what happened is the Global Studio had a what do you call? They had a tour to China, understanding how China modules works for arts and culture that they want to implement in Diepsloot. And there were 3 names that were submitted to go and represent AMA artists who say Diepsloot. To go to China. It was in Korea, not China. They went to Korea and stay in Korea for almost a month in Korea, talking about the arts in Diepsloot. Really, they are not artists, and people are not talking about that. The only sweet word or name that they talk about, but they forget, or there were people who were representing arts and culture in Korea who are not even artists. Do
you even think that people know about that? Because I'm hearing it for the first time. Did you
we
know
nothing.
The same people that are actually dragging my name and giving young people that are coming. Tell her these young people that are coming up and say arts and culture, papi, what. It's not them.
They are fed the information.
Yes, they are fed by the information by the people that I work close with. That are telling you that I'm arrogant. That are telling you that I'm selfish. Because now I happen to I call a spade, not one of the working truths in the garden. If I don't agree with you, I tell you that I don't agree with you. If we cannot move forward working together, I'll tell you, Lalas, now we're not relationship, we are no longer moving forward. That's arrogant. That's how arrogant I am.
Yeah,
I think you're probably it's probably one of the few people that I've met that have a clear mandate.
Yeah.
You either follow or you're out. Like, There's no in between.
Exactly. So this question, it would be wrong if I don't ask you, because we've asked everyone who's on the podcast, even people who have no relationship with arts or who are not in entertainment space, that in overpopulated township called Diepsloot, which I still believe it's a lie that we are 350,000. We are more than that. They never counted me when they count people and other people. And I'm saying that even today, with so much talent, we have singers, that can match up the standard of Amanda Black, talking about Buneo Gokubuiti. We have rappers that match up the standard of Kespa Nyovest, which Kebo Lalasi, Kebo Luke, Kebo Tony Basoni. We have actors, Bujek, Busia, and even today, there's none of them that outside Diepsloot, because even some of the people in Diepsloot, they know me as a customer, go boxer or a couple of 8 rand, but not knowing me as an artist. Why up to now, with such amazing talent, quality production, yet Max affiliation started quality production, 808, quality production, but even today, we've never produced someone we can say, this is a celebrity from Diepsloot. Alex Nalabayona. Soweto has been owning the mainstream for a very long time. Even these guys, they get features. Like I'm telling you that BK got the most features in the mainstream. But why don't we have one that we can point out? Yeah, this is a celebrity from Diepsloot.
Why celebrities?
Why
Why do we have to produce celebrities? Why do we need celebrities?
The role model to the young ones that are, and who don't misunderstand, right? Kona le batho ba ka lebellang Lalas in Diepsloot as a role model, right? But not in Diepsloot, when we talk about people when I'm talking about the mainstream, Pela Ramutwe can be recognized like Mutwe Loring has go Diepsloot, or this one is a product of Diepsloot and doing major things in the industrial and Goyon. Lalas, also waiting guy, I'm just a visitor, and nobody might even come and say, this is that celebrity, it's on Diepsloot, or whatever. Why don't we have such people? By the they made it in the industry that big from Diepsloot.
Yeah, Lalas, my question was strategic. Or why do we need celebrities? Why is celebrity so important? Because that's an abuse on its own.
Oh.
People believe celebrities have a problem. Why do we need that? The only thing that we need to look into, how can an artist in Diepsloot build an economy of its own?
Yeah.
You said Diepsloot is overpopulated. And when you say Diepsloot is overpopulated, you are saying Diepsloot is a market for the industry. Because the industry needs population.
Hey.
For the industry to work, it needs population. So people in Diepsloot, they are selfish and self-centered. That they always think that they are the star, really they are not stars.
Okay.
They always think that for them to be able to move, they need someone to come and carry them and move. They don't need that. People in Diepsloot, they are very talented. Believe in me, I ran, before I resigned as a chairperson of Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network, I ran that movement a lot. And I went to every genre. I went to all the hip hop sessions that were in Diepsloot. I went to a poetry session, comedy session. I ran a theater festival in Diepsloot, and I realized the big talent that is there. And those people, they are only saying, if the government can come, for what? Because the only thing that you need is to say, let's host a festival in the youth center every week, until people realize that this weekend, every weekend we go to the youth center and watch our production and develop audience on its own, and they start paying money and they start developing the economy of the women that will be selling there. They'll start selling them drinks that are going to be relevant for that particular event on that particular thing. You don't need them to have money to be famous. You need them to have money out of their work that they are doing. Only that.
This is
can I ask you, while you're still there, right? On the people of the, I think there was a point where you were visible into like the schools. Are you still doing that?
Yes.
Is it?
It's part of the Diepsloot Youth Program mandate.
Or to go into the schools?
I go to school and teach arts and culture from grade 8 and 9. Because teachers are not, that's a program that I created to say teachers who are teaching arts and culture in a class are not actually artists. So they found a book, they don't understand how to interpret it. In this case, I'll go and have that. But I was so privileged that the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, they appointed me to go and teach because of the work that I've been doing there, because I've been giving them as a report and they understand it. This is the mandate of the Department of Education and their department. And I'm a teacher's assistant into their district. I went and teach them how to teach arts and culture within the schools. But it's unfortunately that you teach a teacher's assistant to go and teach that, and after a year the contract finish. So it's a useless exercise.
I'd like us to talk about the event that you had last year, right?
Yeah.
Because like I think for my interest, I'm interested to know about you had like the nominations for women achievements, blah blah blah. But we'll get into that. Before we get into the event itself, I'd like to know. I saw somewhere that you were arrested, something like that. What was happening? You were in and out court. Have you ever been to jail? Like what was happening?
Yeah, it's unfortunate I've never been into jail.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's one of the things that when I was mentioning 5 people that were working in a Diepsloot Youth program, and I didn't mention one name. Yeah, because there was a person that I cannot mention the name because of some security reasons also. But the case is dismissed by court. Unfortunately.
Who opened the case? Who opened the case?
The person that I'm saying I cannot mention the name.
Why did they open the case?
Yes, that's why I'm saying the security reason for that. I'm the kind of person who don't wish worse to my enemies.
Yeah.
So I just distance myself from enemies. So in the Diepsloot Youth program, they're reporting to me as a team leader. So there was that issue at work. And then after at work, they didn't see me as a person who's wrong, and the other one was dismissed from work. They went and opened a case. And then after opening a case, then I went and proved myself in front of court to say, this one, I don't know.
Did it involve money? Because like usually...
It didn't involve money. That's what I'm saying is a sensitive issue. So I wish we had I don't mind to talk about it, but the reason why I didn't even want to tell you what's the issue, people may misinterpret it and start blaming other people. It just needs a session on its own to unpack it from the beginning to the end, or what really happened. Well, I understand. I have seen a lot of people in the podcast, because my favorite podcast is McG. I used to like Limpopo. I'm no longer watching it for selfish reasons. And
I thought you'd be selfish only watching Limpopo.
No, I was watching it only, but I no longer watching it, and I have my reasons for that. But I'm saying I have seen I will watch a podcast, the whole podcast, and then go to TikTok and found a video clip that was specifically directed to mislead the public in terms of that. Exactly. Because they will cut that and put it in a direction that it will mislead. And when you see the next person, because I don't care anymore. When you see the next person on the street, it became a problem. Or this one, it's here to destroy people in Diepsloot.
I think that with the one of you don't care, you are evident. Like that one, I shame. You're wasting your time, guys. Like move on to other things. Like move on
For
to
real.
other things.
Yo.
He doesn't
Wow.
care. You can see, like it's evident. It's
Yeah,
evident.
so I don't
So
know.
let's go to the event that you had last year. There were women that were nominated. I'd like to know what were categories for that, and what was the criteria,
Yeah.
and like how did like the selection came about.
Okay, let me try to unpack this in this way. I hope we have enough time.
Yeah.
So, Diepsloot Arts in Action is not actually my program.
Yeah.
It's a program of Diepsloot artists. When Global Studio visited, we sit down in a commission. I was leading that commission of artists to say, what is it that we can do as artists in Diepsloot that can make an identity for artists in Diepsloot? And I'm saying this on record, that every artist have the right to claim to say, I want to perform in that event, whether I like it or not, I'm going there. Well, understand? But I didn't want to open it in that way, because people like Lala will say, I'm going to have 5 hours in this.
Yeah.
But
For real.
that's, yeah. But when we were sitting in that commission, we agreed to say we are going to make Diepsloot Arts in Action under the umbrella of Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network.
Okay.
Ne? So it's a baby of Diepsloot Arts and Culture Network. So when the network died, the baby died. And I mean, I saw it, or this was the only identity, Diepsloot artist.
Yo.
Why not reviving it?
Yeah.
Why not adopting it? Why not going back and take it back to life? And that's what I did. As part, Diepsloot made me. I don't want to run away from that. That community made me to be who I am. That Mawa didn't make me to be who I am. People in Mawa, some even kids, they don't know me. But in Diepsloot, I cannot even walk. Just 500 meters. Hey, Papi.
I think for me to ask you about it is like you know how people talk about you in the streets, so we can talk about it. Like,
yeah, you can talk.
It's a thing of like, I think there were concerns that there were people that were nominated on that, and they are not from Diepsloot.
Okay, that's why I'm unpacking it. So the Diepsloot Arts in Action, it's basically they are the baby of Diepsloot artists. But now, every August, it's a personal feeling, it's a personal reasons. I'm raised by a single parent. And along my way, everything that changed my life, there's a woman in it. Actually, it's a woman who changed my life. The person that pays my salary now, it's a woman for doing what I want to do. So I realized women made me to be who I am. So in my personal capacity, I said every August, I celebrate one woman a day during the month of August who's making a difference in Diepsloot.
Okay.
I understand?
Oh yeah.
So now, I used to take this woman to lunch to go Billy G. Okay. And then I got it 31. And say, come and eat, and we eat, we talk, or why I'm celebrating you this year, why I'm celebrating you this year, and so forth. But at the end, I realized they photo, so what? So I'm going to do it. I talk to my staff and say, on the little money that we are going to get in Arts in Action, can we do awards for this woman? So that someone can go and put it in their house and say, Diepsloot once celebrated me in this year for doing my community work. Yeah. So even your kids in the next 15 years, when you are no longer alive, or the next 20 years when you are no longer in this earth, they can come and say, this is our grandmother, this is our mother, this is what she did in Diepsloot. That was the reason for us putting that extra program on it. So that program also had grassroots with the film. We launched it more high, and we put it as a launch of saying this year we are going to pursue the film, because we had Oazi, the director of Ushaga Zulu, was running Amat last year. It's a film. Ne? So we said, because we already had big names that came here, the two directors of Shaka Ilembe, they came here and ran AMA classes almost every Sunday. So we said we are not going to leave that legacy that we started. I started with Ntabiseni Bapon. And then we launched that in Arts in Action. That's why there was film, there was AMA award for this woman, but also not award for this woman. There was award for artists that has been working in Diepsloot in developing art.
Oh yeah.
It's not voting, and it will never be voting. It's my personal feelings that I see your work. It's personal. So there is no one who can come and tell me, or hey, this one deserves it more than this one. Hey, I didn't see this one. I saw this one. It's like when a metro police stop you on a freeway when you are running. When I get to freeway, it's 120. And then when I'm at 130, someone who matter 200. When about wins, that can matter. They're not talking about that one. They're talking about you, the speed limit, about you. So then I'm not talking about this one that you have seen.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that I have seen.
Is it gonna be ongoing?
It's ongoing.
Oh, nice.
And we are not apologetic about it. And we are going to do it exactly the way we do it.
I think now it makes sense, because like I think there's a thin line when you're doing things, people expect it to be like a thing of everyone, which is not like that.
Nah.
But I think
If it wasn't there, who would see the other side of it?
100%. So this is the question that we ask each and every guest that we have on the show, that going from here, what are you holding yourself accountable to do? Like, it doesn't have to be for the community, could be for yourself, could be for your family, could be for your organizations, could be for all these people that you have around here.
To be selfish and self-centered.
And if it's about Diepsloot, selfish and self-centered. That's why they do
Everything must rotate around me.
Yeah. Be a little bit selfish with love. We spoke about it. You know that.
No. I want you to understand this thing. Ne? The reason why I'm saying that, I want to rub it into their face. Most of the people that are on my distance, they think I'm selfish and self-centered because of other people who came and tell them what I am. But there are people that are next to me. So they never seen that selfishness. Actually, I always fight with my people here. They say when I'm not pay votes. They tell me almost every week, why is when I votes. So now it contradicts itself. Selfish, we don't want to talk about this thing. There's a lot of things that I can tell you. That the same people that are saying, when coming to Diepsloot, you cannot even say. Because during lockdown, when families were not having something to eat there, I risked my life during the COVID, going and give more than 162,000 community members some food parcels there. Where's selfish there? Why I didn't convince the sponsors to take that money and make it for myself?
Yeah.
Why I didn't make that, people channel funds and make it into their way, and at the end of the day, after programming, what all valley reach.
Sometimes.
But after that, they were saying, when I don't refer food parcel and so on, come out.
Ish.
So where's selfish there?
Yeah, that is very tricky. But above and beyond, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And I think that there are positive things that you've been doing, and I think you should continue doing that. We as Kasi and Kaba, we look forward to being a part of this whole thing that's happening here. We don't want to be a part of those people that are calling you selfish. We want to see the side of una le pelo e botse, isn't it, Lalas? So
and tell him he's selfish when he is.
exactly. I hope we're gonna
Instead of telling them out there, we'll
tell him here that actually you are selfish. We don't agree with
we've
you.
uncovered the selfishness.
Exactly, because we are here for it. We are here to uncover and do that. And with that being said, from Lala's Kulu, Papi Sathekge, my sunflower. Po, 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 po.